of life. It's the rhythm that keeps us moving forward, the pulse that echoes our vitality. It's a symphony of balance and harmony, resonating in every aspect of our existence. Health is a silent conductor, orchestrating the dance between the body and mind. It's the energy that propels us towards our dreams and aspirations. It is the foundation upon which we build our futures. So, what is health to you? Join me, Kofi Bartels, this and every Thursday for Health Thursday, 8 a.m. on the Morning Crossfire as we explore important issues affecting your health. Only on 99.3 Nigeria Info.
This is Morning Crossfire on 99.3 Nigeria Info.
Okay, we're still here, of course, back with our Health Thursday. Last week we had an interesting conversation on genetically modified food and crops. We had a professor here. Next week we'll have a debate. We'll have a debate because the whole thing about GM foods and vaccines and all that, we just need to get it out there. Okay, we have a usual suspect. You know, each time we talk about mental health, there's one name that comes to mind as far as Nigerian food is concerned. Dr. Tolulope Oko-Igaire is here in the studio. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Kofi.
You know, you're the usual suspect.
Really?
When it comes to mental health, you are a go-to person. It's good to have you.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
You're known as a fixer. Why are you known as a fixer?
So, like I normally say, I build homes, I fix relationships and sex, and I help people to thrive. So that's the mental health aspect, the thriving, but the sex part is more of the fixing part.
Interesting. You know, some of our listeners' ear just spiked up when they heard.
They know Dr. Tulu, they will know.
Yes, indeed. All right, last week was mental health. Mental Health Awareness Month.
Yeah.
Indeed, the whole of May.
Yeah.
And we couldn't have her in the studio because of time and schedule and all that. But we still have to mark it, and we still have to talk about mental health and put out the awareness there. And so this is an opportunity not just to talk about the theory, but for those of you who are listening, if you have any mental health questions, you can call and you can talk about it. The first thing she asks me when she goes in the studio, how are you? And she asked me, how are you? I hope you're not going to conduct some psychoanalysis on me as I'm here. Look at my eyes, the shape of my eye. Is it wide? Is it? Anyway, so Dr. Tolulope Oko-Igaire is the Executive Director of the Institute of Counseling in Nigeria. She's a fixer. And one of Africa's, she knows why she's a fixer. She's one of Africa's foremost professional mental health practitioners, a clinical counselor with a demonstrated experience in depression treatment, amongst others. She single-handedly took mental health counseling and psychotherapy from the backward traditional level to a more professional forefront. She is the president of the Association of Counselors for Counselors, Matchmaking and Psychotherapy of Nigeria. It's quite interesting. You have an institute, that's Institute of Counselors of Nigeria. And the people who and I go way back. We both came from a very, very
No be today. I was telling somebody that Kofi is way back from Port Harcourt.
PH Town, right?
Yeah. I mean, you remember those days now.
Those days, yes, indeed. And you've been doing this radio thing for some time.
Yeah.
We had program on radio back then. I'm sure your listeners miss you.
I'm still trying, to do it once a while on Nigeria Info, late at night on Saturday.
Yeah, but Port Harcourt people miss you, right?
But, yeah.
The Port Harcourt
Hi, Port Harcourt people.
they miss
Till
you.
date, they still send me mails, messages. When are you coming back? Why did you leave us?
Let's
This
go
is
back
not
now.
fair.
Let's go
we
back.
We made you.
Let's go back now.
No, Lagos is the place.
And with all the stress.
I mean, stress is part of life. I mean, it's part of mental health. It is not the stress that is the problem. It's the way you react to it.
React to it.
Yeah,
Okay.
life is stressful. I mean, there's nothing you can do about it.
Right.
Life is stressful.
Is it more mentally challenging, more psychologically challenging, and stressful living in Lagos than in any part of Nigeria you're aware of?
I think so.
Wow.
I think so.
We're stretched more in Lagos.
Yes, I think so. There are a lot of things that are trying to mess with your head in Lagos.
Like what?
Right. Like, I was just telling you something. Like, I sleep better in the morning, provided there is light.
Okay.
So my estate is quiet if there's light, and I can sleep well. But if there's no light, the generator noise starts from there. So from the generator, for me, at a point I had to even seek therapy, because of the nature of my job. So as I'm stepping out of my office, I'm driving out, I'm looking at maybe somebody that is driving one way, and I'm like, why is this person why are you doing this? I'm getting to the junction, I'm seeing children. In fact, if you leave early in the morning, you're going to be seeing them sleeping. They will line up sleeping, on the roadside. So I'm looking at that. I'm like, who is doing something about it? You are moving a step further. You are seeing people surrounding, this machine where they do all this gambling, and then you are looking at gambling addiction. You are like, we are in trouble. So every step you take, there is something to. Now, I mean, there is one video that I saw online that talked about you woke up by 4 a.m. Before you get to the park, you fought 10 Agbiru. Before you go to your office, you fought 10 Agbiru. Somebody has jammed your bumper. Somebody, even in the bus, while you are sitting in the bus, in a bus seats in Lagos, people try to even sexually harass people. I don't know if you know. That one is very common.
Really?
Yeah, you are sitting beside somebody and the person is stylishly trying to toss your boobs. Yes, it happens a lot.
In the bus?
Yes, in the bus. So all of these things are messing with your people. You are seeing people fighting. They are dragging you. You are trying to jump out of the bus. So many. By the time you get to the office, you've lost if possible 40 to 50% of your capacity to operate at optimal level. Wow. So yeah, Lagos is stressful.
Not to talk about road rage,
traffic
and all that. One of those days I was, back in the day, way back when I used to come to Lagos, maybe when I was in university, have a holiday. One of those days, I think it was about 7 a.m. And I saw, so early. For me, coming from a city that's so quiet, where by 7 people are still in their houses. That was not Port Harcourt. Port Harcourt was even a step higher. Calabar, I schooled in Calabar.
Oh, yeah.
And by 7 o'clock,
Calabar,
so
very.
quiet.
I mean, Calabar. I know about a bit. I lived there for some time.
Yeah, you mentioned to me some time ago.
Very peaceful.
Yes, indeed.
Extremely peaceful. Calabar.
7 o'clock, people are still, shops are open, and people who live in Lagos.
This is my opinion. I always feel like Calabar people are not so ambitious.
Okay.
That's my opinion.
They
don't want to.
They don't want to stress too much.
No.
I think a lot of people who live in coastal areas, you have water, you have the sea. Originally, like my ancestral home is by the seashore. Yes, indeed. We're more relaxed. Even to go to River State, you see the river and community people are more chilled.
Yeah.
While those who live in the upland, like the same River State, are more aggressive.
You are right.
Because we can.
This is how you see how our conditioning, environment, how it affects our behavioral pattern. Yeah.
It may not be scientifically proven, but that's my theory.
No, it is scientifically proven.
That if you want to eat, you can just climb a coconut tree. You just tear coconut tree. If you want to fish, you just go into just through your net.
I was watching a documentary, I think like 2 days ago, about there's a village in I don't know, can't remember now. They live like in the olden days, trees, all of they don't have anything like what do you call it? Modernization is not there, and then Elon Musk took internet to the place.
Oh wow.
And then their life changed. So they were holding phones, they just, it's you could check it out. Everything about them just changed. They were holding phones, they were trying to check what is going on online. They were no longer concentrating on the sense of community. They were losing it.
It was all gone.
Their productivity were reduced because they do farming and hunting, all of that. And then the village head decided that, we need to restrict this thing to like maybe a particular hour of the day. But the problem with them is they have this influx of internet, all the dirty things in the internet. They don't even know how to manage it. Yes. Now, currently, for those of us that are outside, there are talks about, there are restrictions, what to do, but these guys are just consuming everything. So to let you know that if you are in a place where you are close to nature, you can, just not be distracted by all of these things. Of course, it's good for mental health.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. So in Lagos, you have to wake up by 3, 4 a.m. if you must get to work.
It is what it is.
So that has an effect on mental health.
Of course.
You have to wake up by 4.
In fact, one of the things you need to look out for if you are developing mental health problem is your sleep pattern. Oh. Right. So whether you are sleeping too much or you are having inconsistent sleep or you are not sleeping at all or too little. Right. So of course.
And you're always tired.
Always tired.
You can become big grumpy, right? If you don't
Of course, lots of motivation, tiredness, not wanting to step up to do anything. All of these are parts of things that guys should look out for.
Interesting.
It
affects the other side too as well. The one you talk about from midnight, right?
See, let's not go to that
side. Let's not go to that side. That's another
that
day.
It's all about mental health.
A whole different conversation.
Yeah, it's about mental health. How you are able to perform in that aspect has to do with your state of mind.
Interesting. 0201-277-0993, 0201-277-1993, 0201-277-2993, 0201-277-3993. We're streaming live on Facebook. Simply go to our Facebook page, facebook.com/Nigeria Info FM. All right, or you can search for Nigeria Space Info, space 99.3, Nigeria Space Info, space 99.3. Also stream on YouTube. Just search for the Nigeria Info page by typing Nigeria Info FM. It's a verified YouTube account, so you'll see a tick by the account, and you can watch live and see what's going on here in the studio. Mental Health Awareness Month. May is World Mental Health Awareness Month, and we're asking for your how you're doing mentally, and if you have any questions regarding mental health, especially if you live in Lagos, how well do you prioritize protecting your mental health? Is what we're asking you. Are you even intentional about protecting your mental well-being? How does being physically fit but mentally or emotionally unwell affect our overall health? In general, we'll talk about all of that as we go. I want to pick the first call. Whatever question you have regarding mental health, please feel free to call. It's an issue I have. When people say I'm depressed, because growing up, watching movies, reading books, and learning in school, when you see someone depressed, it's a serious thing. Like someone even say something is wrong with you. So I always have a problem when people feel sad. It's I'm depressed. They feel down. Maybe something doesn't go. I'm depressed. And sometimes I come across as being insensitive. We're trying to say you're not depressed. You're just sad. And, is there a thin line? Is sadness the same as depression?
How do you know if they are not depressed? How do you? I also think it's a bit insensitive to say. See,
tell me.
I'm going to give you. I'm going to paint it. There's a video online by one mental health organization. I will describe it. It was about two guys who were watching a football game, and then the two of them, they usually come for that game, so they sit together. They are like friends. And then there is one who is always, there's one that is always happy, always jumping up. If they score, like, woo, ooh. And then there's the other one who is very grumpy, sad, just sit down there beside him. And when he jump, we will look at that one and be like, like you're not jumping. You will look at him and be like, are you okay? That one will just, will not respond that much. And this kept happening over and over. So they will come back another day. And then, but this guy will keep looking at that. Are you okay? Are you enjoying the game? All of those stuff. And then the last day, he was like, you want to talk about anything? That one just like, And then, so the one that was always jumpy gave his muffler to the quiet one that is very grumpy and never responding. And then the next time they will come for the game is the one that is jumpy that has died of depression. And then the quiet, the one that is always grumpy, that look unhappy and sad, was there. So the muffler he took from the other guy, now put it on the seat. And the message was, depression is not what you think it is. What I'm trying to let you know is the guy that was jumping up was trying to pass a message across to the one that was sitting down. When he's asking, are you okay? Everything good? He was expecting that one to also look and say, when it's like, oh, you too, are you okay? Nobody was asking because he was looking like he was the one that was. So somebody could be depressed and be the happiest person in the room. Somebody could be depressed and be the one that is walking into the office and asking, hey, Kofi, are you this morning? You good? You this? It might be expecting that you can ask him that kind of a question as well. So, yes, it's possible to have mild depression. It's possible to be clinically depressed, right? So, but it is possible for you not to even be able to notice the symptoms.
What is the difference between mild depression and clinical depression?
So, when you are clinically depressed, at this point, you need medication to function. That's a simple difference. You need medication to function. But you might be mildly depressed and still be acting like this person that is the person might be moved. And mental health is a spectrum. It's not like you are permanently sitting in one space. You are either moving towards the left or the right at every point in time. So sometimes it could be very serious for you. Sometimes, but when you get to that point of clinical or like it's now like a disorder or mental illness, you need medication. But sometimes you are very close to that point. You are not yet there.
Okay, so the mild one is you're functioning every day.
Yeah, you function. But you are dealing with a lot and you are, you're just wishing like maybe people can. In fact, sometimes you don't even know what is wrong with you. Sometimes you are not aware when it comes to mental health. We are not so aware. Like I tell people, you wake up in the morning and then you are going into the bathroom and then you are singing. You should be able to say, Kofi, why are you happy this morning? You should be that self-aware. Maybe there's something that has happened to you, that are adding a lot of positive emotions to you. And then sometimes you just wake up, you are grumpy, you don't want to talk to anybody. You should ask yourself, what happened? Maybe you received a call. Maybe somebody said something to you that you don't like. Maybe that's why you're acting like that. So you should be self-aware, but that's where the problem starts from. A lot of us are not even aware. We just wake up, we have different kind of emotions. You move from positive to negative to in between, and you are not asking yourself, what is wrong with me? What is going on? Right? So that is a good place to start from.
So what are the symptoms and the signs of let's talk about mild depression, which is the one that it seems hardest to
mild depression, mental health issues. What you notice, like I said earlier, you just notice changes in your sleep pattern. So you want to sleep, you are not able to. Sometimes you also want to wake up, you are not able to stand up. You just feel like staying in bed. So that's one of the things to look out for. Another thing you can look out for is your eating pattern. Is it that you are eating too much or you are not eating at all? You are inconsistent. So you want to check that. Then you want to look at your energy level. You just feel like you just feel like I don't feel like doing anything. Sometimes we keep repeating all these things and you keep saying all of this. You are not even asking yourself what is wrong. So you don't feel like
we
doing
can
anything.
Protect your car, your savings.
Let's not make it boring. Let's make insurance a lifestyle. If you've ever wished your insurance offered you more, then you're in good hands with Hares Insurance Group. In addition to our extensive insurance coverage, you can also enjoy free benefits such as networking opportunities, up to 10% discount on hotels, gyms, spas, and your favorite stores. Tickets to exclusive events and free resources to plan your future. So, next time someone asks you, what does your insurance company give you, sir? Your answer should be with Hess Insurance Group. Definitely much more than insurance.
To enjoy all these, sign up on www.hairinsuranceGroup.com. That is HEIRS. Hairs Insurance Group. Simple life is here.
Are you finding it difficult listening to your favorite talk radio Nigeria info via the mobile app? Come closer. Let me fix that for you. Now, launch the app on your device. Click the 3 lines on the top left corner of the app. Look for settings in the drop-down menu and click on it. Turn on the first option that you see. Make sure you turn on the option that says always use highest quality available audio. Now that you have done that, close the app and relaunch it. Voila! I did it! Oh, sorry, you did it. Now you can enjoy your radio anywhere, anytime. Nigeria Info. Let's talk.
Everyone says I'm beautiful and bold. They say I'm fashionable. And to crown it up, very confident. And my secret is...
People say I'm good looking, funny, hardworking, and to crown it up, very confident. And my secret is...
So whether in the office or at home,
in the streets or on the dance floor,
anytime, any day, I never lose my confidence. And the secret to my confidence is Wazobia perfume.
Absolutely. Wazobia perfume gives the authenticity and long-lasting fragrance all day. That's my secret confidence.
Wazobia perfume is available in body spray.
Also available in supermarkets and markets near you.
You can also get it on Jumia.
Wazobia perfume, the correct scent.
Meals have a way of taking us on a journey. And when you add plenty of vegetables like efo, ugu, and season with the rich taste of North seasoning cubes, even better.
So, go ahead and elevate your meals with more vegetables and the rich taste of Knorr cubes. Today, eat for good.
He done of trading himself. James, hello.
Susan, I beg. Say you the wine me.
For where? You who no longer depend solely on your salary.
So you people trade and don't carry us along in this office, Abby?
Jerry, now you they talk like this. Who doesn't want an extra stream of income? But I'm still looking for better trading conditions, I beg. Fast execution of my trades and possibly an account where swap no go carry all my profits where I don't know.
Guy, HFM.com.
For me, I wouldn't mind better spreads at all, and it won't be a bad idea to be able to make withdrawals in a flash.
All we want is transparency and great customer service.
Guys, I said HFM.com.
Which one is HFM.com again?
Switch to HFM today to enjoy ultra-fast execution, 1 to 2,000 leverage, tight spreads, swap-free, and more.
Guy, show us the way now.
Wait, are you sure deposits and withdrawals are sharp?
I said
HFM.com.
Visit www.hfm.com. HFM, online trading at its finest.
Who says you can't have it all with one play?
I got that defined boy. You have just won yourself.
Congratulations.
Hello, good morning.
Yes, Melitus. One player, don't talk to 2 players because you won 20K.
So now you won yourself 20,000 naira. My name is Well Done. Okay, well done. You want to tell you well done? You won yourself 20,000 naira.
With 500 naira, you can play to win big. From 120,000 naira to 190,000 naira daily on Nigeria Info. Go to oneplay.ng and play with 500 naira. And in a few seconds, your ticket is in the draw. Or dial *347 *880 *3#. Win daily on Nigeria Info. 50,000 naira on Morning Crossfire. 60,000 naira on WhatsApp Lagos. 20,000 naira on Sunnyside. And 60,000 naira on Game On. So Lagos, what are you waiting for? The more you play, the better your chances of winning. Remember to dial *347 *880 *3#. Play responsibly. Not suitable for persons under the age of 18.
99.3 Nigeria Info.
Your number one station for talk. Let's talk.
What is health? It's more than the absence of illness. It's the state of complete physical, mental, and social well-being. But let's delve deeper. Health is the heartbeat of life. It's the rhythm that keeps us moving forward. The pulse that echoes our vitality. It's a symphony of balance and harmony, resonating in every aspect of our existence. Health is a silent conductor, orchestrating the dance between the body and mind. It's the energy that propels us towards our dreams and aspirations. It is the foundation upon which we build our futures. So, what is health to you? Join me, Kofi Bartels, this and every Thursday for Health Thursday, 8 a.m. on the Morning Crossfire as we explore important issues affecting your health. Only on 99.3 Nigeria Info.
This is Morning Crossfire on 99.3 Nigeria Info.
Welcome back. It's still Health Thursday right here on 99.3 Nigeria for the Morning Crossfire. And today on Health Thursday, we're having a mental health and well-being awareness in our commemoration of World Mental Health Awareness Month, which was in May. And of course, we're just making sure that we chip in our own bit for you, our listeners. How are you doing mentally? How are you doing with your mental, psychological well-being? Please call if you have any questions, contributions as far as mental health is concerned. Dr. Tolulope Oko-Igaire, as I guess this morning, voice, when you talk about the overnight topics, she's the executive director of the Institute of Counseling in Nigeria. 0201 277 0993 0201 277 1993 0201 277 2993 0201 2773 993. She said it's mentally draining, living in Lagos, and that's why you have to take care of your mental. And it could be more draining mentally than in other parts of the country. So we're talking about depression.
Yeah. So we're talking about the factors to look out for.
Yes.
And apart from depression, generally mental health issues, maybe so like you are not doing well mentally. Like I said, look out for your sleeping pattern, eating pattern, your energy level, then maybe social withdrawal. You don't just feel like talking to people. You don't want to interact. You don't want to pick your calls. That is another thing you should look out for. Very, very common when you are beginning to move to the other end of the spectrum. You just, sense of isolation. You want to isolate yourself. It may happen to people. People just delete. They go off social media because people do that a lot. And I tell people, one of the things you could do is just like self-awareness is very important, and understanding when it comes to mental health. We are making progress gradually, but I think we are still very far from understanding the concepts.
How does one deal or relate to handle maybe a family member, friend, spouse, sibling, a colleague, church member, mosque member who exhibits such signs, and you think maybe the person may have, if not probably has depression? So
as little as personality issues, behavioral issues, like I'm a therapist, I'm driving somewhere and couples come and be like, oh, my husband is acting like this, why can't he act like this? And then you are going mad. You are feeling like, this is not working. Why can't he think like this? He cannot think like you. He doesn't have the capacity. The hardware is not there. Some people say, oh, my love language is touch. This person cannot touch you. He doesn't know how to do it. So if you are fighting this person, you are fighting a lost battle. What am I trying to say? A lot of people feel like, why can't they act like this? I tell them, what if this person have cancer? Are you going to say, oh, why can't you? I said, it's the same thing. That's the same way we should look at mental health. But because we cannot see, the person is not hot. We are looking at the person appears okay. We feel like, oh, they should snap out of it. They should get over it. They do, even if they don't want to. That's why we say therapy is not motivation. It's not motivation. Even if you motivate yourself, like, I want to stop this thing, you don't have the capacity. It's beyond. Motivation is just a little part of helping people to get better when it comes to mental health. So you cannot look at them and say, snap out of it. Why are you behaving? A lot of people will just look at them and then start, you keep malice with them. You are not talking to me, so I will not talk to you. Why you are acting like this? No, this person doesn't even know what they are going through. So if you are in this, if your family member or friends or anybody, the first thing you need to understand is if they can do better, they will. So don't hold it against them. Show empathy. Even if they are sending you away, keep coming back. If they are saying, I don't want to talk to anybody, keep coming back. Keep saying, I just want to check on you. You don't need to pressurize them, but I just want to check on you. I just want to be sure you are okay. Help them. Try to take them out. Try to help them to come out of their shell. It will go a long way. Help them to open up. Help them to talk.
So you're saying most times we expect normalcy.
Yes.
We expect things to be normal, okay, and the way everybody's doing it. We're realizing that this person right now is going through a phase or a situation that does not allow them, no matter how hard they try, be that way. So you say things like, can't you just do it this way?
Yeah, you get frustrated.
You're a grown up. You should be able to just
exactly.
Why? And then you don't realize that this person is. You need some sort of empathy and understanding, and realize that they are not. Able to come out of function. Just take them as they are, accept them, and then adjust.
Learn to just meet them where they are. Show empathy. Understand. Like I used to tell them, like I said, if this person is hospitalized, like his physical health problem, are you going to say, why are you acting like this? Why are you vomiting? Are you going to say that? No, you're going to stick to that person. You're going to make sure they get well. The same thing it is with mental health issues, whether it's mild, whether it's serious, whether it's chronic disorder, whether it's mild mental health issues, stick to them. Show empathy. They don't even understand. A lot of them are confused about what is happening to them. They don't even know.
That empathy is so important because I
very
do
important.
remember, for instance, some of our older ones. Parents as they grow older, especially those who may develop maybe a stroke or signs of Alzheimer's or some other thing, you don't expect the parents to be a certain way. For instance, my old man, had a stroke at some point.
Sorry about that.
Thank you. And we used to go for therapy. In Port Harcourt, we used to go therapy and physiotherapy. And I didn't understand the effect of that on the left or the right side of the brain and all that. And I do remember sometimes I expect my old man, then in the initial days, I'm trying to get used to it, to do things a certain way or to react a certain way or to, when we go for the therapy, the physiotherapist will see him and say, Daddy, and then he'll smile and be happy, you know.
See?
And then he'll encourage you and say, don't worry, and he'll be happy. So I'm like, okay.
In fact, that is physiotherapy doing the job of a mental health therapist, because she understands the relationship between the two. Apart from physical health, people that have chronic physical health issues, they also have mental health needs. People that are waiting for death, do we even think about them? Do we think like, do you have expectations? Do you have regrets? Do you have things you would like to talk about? We don't even deal with all of that. We are just saying, oh, has she eaten? Has she beaten? That's all we think about. Can we even think about the person even dying happy?
What you're saying just brought us memories back. And today I find out I'm the one who went, and some of my friends, colleagues, and all have aged parents. I'm saying you have to take it easy.
Yeah, you have to.
My father is grumpy. He's acting. He's making us angry. He's become stubborn.
If he knows better, he will do better.
No, it's just age at this point in time.
Yeah,
understand and just take it like that. And this is time you have to step into and take care of your aged parents. It's quite interesting.
It is interesting. And for every one of us, it's very important that we understand, like, the way we take care of our spirit. In quotes, like you go to church, you go to mosque, you pray, you fast, you do all of that. And then you take care of your body. Like at least you try to buy whatever, paracetamol, whatever, when you are not feeling, when you go for medical checkup. Then what happened to your mind? And I still believe that the mind has the capacity, in fact, I can prove it, that the mind has the capacity to control the spirit and the body.
Mind?
Yes.
It's like saying people should not pray. I'm saying we should not take off their soul.
If your mind is messed up, you will not be able to pray.
But even the scripture says his mind.
Exactly. As a man thinketh in his heart. So your mind is a powerhouse. And when we are talking about mental health, we are talking about your mind, because your mental health is how you think, how you feel, and how you act.
How you think, how you feel, and how you act.
That's mental health. And a lot of people feel like, I need to have all the money. That's part of the areas where we are getting it wrong in this part of the world. We feel it's all about money. Even today that you have, how are you living today? Are you thriving? So is it until you have all the millions before you start living or thriving?
I'll come back to you. Talking about millions. I'll come back to you because of the economic situations. Well, hello, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Welcome. What's your name?
This is Ivoli. Good morning, Dr. Tolu.
Good morning.
It's been long we heard your voice on radio on Saturdays. Sponsors, you've been busy, ma. As well.
Thank you.
So I have two questions. Due to what is happening presently in the country, in your line of consultation, do you have more cases? That's my first question. The second one is...
Okay, due to when you say what is happening in the country,
do we have what?
Specific.
She understands what I just...
Yeah, do we have what? I didn't get that
we
part.
have more cases, like people coming to approach you in your line of work.
Okay.
Due to what we're passing through now.
Of course, okay.
My second question is, when you say mental health, and people just think about it that maybe the person has gone cuckoo, I want you to just buttress the point that at some point, it's not as if we've gone mad, but people need mental evaluation to make them stable. I just want you to buttress that fact. Those are the two things.
Thank you so much. Good to hear your voice as well.
Stay here, man. Have a blessed day.
You too.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. We appreciate your time. Thank you.
So she's asking if people are asking for, of course, like it's crazy. Like people are asking for, people need help. Like what she said, what is happening? Nigeria is happening to a lot of people.
The economic situation?
Yes,
right.
Of course. It's going to affect your mental health. If you can't
see
see where you don't know where the next meal is coming from, you are not going to be your best self. So yeah, people are going through a lot and they are of course seeking for help. In fact, we are currently running free for the Mental Health Awareness Month at the Institute of Counseling. Normally what we do is we give free counseling for the whole of the month. Free counseling, but because May we were so busy with activities, going to schools, work, so we move it to June. So this whole of June there is free counseling for everybody at the Institute of Counseling. We are not taking a dime from you.
What kind of things do people come to you for counseling for?
You said
what kind of things do people come to you for counseling for?
Everything. Anxiety, depression, relationship issue, existential crisis, transitioning issue. I mean, it's crazy. And of course, serious sexual issues as well. Her second question is very important. That the difference between mental health and people going cuckoo, like you said. So mental health is a spectrum. So it's okay to say at the far right hand side is mental disorder or what we call psychosis or mental illness, and then at the far left hand side is like optimal functionality. So you are either moving towards the right or you are moving towards the left. So until you get to the end of the right, you are not seen to have mental illness. Or you are, in fact, until you get to that place, you don't have mental illness.
So what do you have?
But you might not be functional. You might not be optimally functional. So you could be dealing with different kind of issues.
So that extreme, is it part of mental health?
Of course, it's part of mental health, but at that point, that is where medication now comes in. Right. Now, the job of therapists and counselors is to make sure you don't get to that point. So, and for so many of us, it's very important that we take our mental health seriously so we do not get to that point. So, looking at people that are having schizophrenia or psychosis or delusion and looking at them like people that have mental health, that is not mental health. Is part of it, but that is mental health is the way you think, the way you feel, the way you act. So at every one of us have mental health. At every point in time, you are either moving towards the right hand side or the left hand side of the spectrum.
All right. So those who have schizophrenia, psychosis, not mental health.
It's part of mental health.
All right,
but it's mental illness.
All right. I used to say, that everyone, based on the first thing you said, that we should all behave like psychologists. Why do I say this? Because, and I want to take a thought on that, because if you are in a relationship, if you are in a, but whether it's with a colleague, with a friend, office worker to worker, sometimes you have to look at the other side and try and, relate with someone, not react. I think that's a bit of what you're saying, that we should all put up our thinking caps to try and observe and see how we relate to people, to build them up, not to Because sometimes we forget. Like I forget sometimes. Someone may be behaving the same way, and may forget that. Okay, I need to be more understanding.
Yes,
and even boost the person's confidence.
So, you just said it like in a layman language, but it's very deep.
Okay,
and we might not even begin to explain it, because the way people think is also, there are a lot of factors that are involved. When it comes to the way you think, you are made at certain age. Your brain is no longer plastic. Information cannot even penetrate so easily. So you are formed. So your thought pattern can be affecting you and people that you relate with at work. And that is why, even for us at the Institute of Counseling, we go from corporate organizations to corporate organizations, because you have to have that, imbibe that mental health culture. So the first thing we do is do training for you, so people start thinking differently. So there's a way you think, you will be more conscious than the way you will have been ordinarily, right? So there's a level of training that you can get, that when you are looking at your colleague, you won't forget so easily. You are looking at them and you feel, what's wrong with this person? These days, in most organizations, it's not my problem. If I ask now,
so
the
it's
person
something everyone, even organization, should get involved in.
Everybody should imbibe it. You should be your colleague's keeper, not just your neighbor. Colleague's keeper. You are looking at someone like, what will it cost you to say, Kofi, what's up? Are you good? And Kofi should be able to reply and say, you know what? I'm not good. And you say, when you asked me how are you this morning, I told you, I don't think, that's how it should be. But here, the person will say, I'm fine.
Oh, it is well.
It is well, yeah.
Okay, let's pick a next listener. Hello, good morning.
To you.
Good morning, welcome.
Yeah, thank you so much, Kofi. Good morning to you guys.
What's your name, please?
Good morning.
Yeah, my name is Kelvin Kofi. I'm so glad we're talking about mental health this morning. Kofi, I came from Port Harcourt. I've listened to your girls once from Port Harcourt as well, in Nigeria Info. I got a job here in Lagos that I was paid about 150,000 naira monthly. And while I was doing the job, it was going all well. After a year, I had a new boss in a female who came on board and made the job so tiring for me. And I kept asking her, is there something I've done wrong? Is it that I don't deliver on the job? She said, no, you're good on the job. But one problem I have with you is that you're not loyal to me. I kept asking her, what is really your have you ever given me an instruction and I faltered? She said, no. Then what is your definition of being loyal? Up to the point I went to our appropriate quarters to, see how they can salvage the situation. To no avail. She kept making me feel unease. Like each time I wake up and I remember I have to go to work, and we share the same office, so there is no way I could avoid her. This thing kept affecting my mind, my everything, and I started developing the symptoms the guests have just enumerated. I was hostile for no reason to certain persons, for no reason at all. At the point, I had to tender my resignation later. And when the manager received the letter, he tried to persuade me to stay back. The only thing I just told him, I said, for the sake of my health, I need to quit this job. I left that job. My question is, was it right for me to have left? And to a lot of persons who might be in this situation, what could be your advice?
Okay, thank you so much. That's
a
very good question, especially for corporate mental health. Now, two things I'm going to say. It's not like it's good that you have left, and it's not like it's bad that you left. Now, Kofi said something earlier, and I said it's deep. It's not so easy to explain like that. That person you are talking about, that your boss, you are not her problem. But you are seeing yourself as her problem. You see, people are whom they are, and you are not the one that made them who they are. The way they think, the way they choose to perceive you, the way they choose to process information around you has nothing to do with you. Absolutely nothing. Every one of us, our thought patterns are not automatic. They are coming from somewhere. It's like a factory-fitted setting that have been put in your head by culture, by environment, by parenting. So I am meeting you at 30 and I expect you to be thinking differently. How am I going to do that? What you are supposed to change is the way you react to that person. I bet with you, somebody that is on top of their game when it comes to mental health, that is mentally healthy or very high at the optimal functionality spectrum, if that person is working with that boss, it's the boss that will be frustrated. I'm telling you.
All right, because he or she will understand that.
Because you will understand that
the boss
this
has a
person's
problem.
is not my problem. You are going to do your best to live with that person. You're going to do your best. You wake up. See, there are people that are coming, the same boss. You're having the same boss. One person is coming and crying. So that, and like he said, you start developing physical health symptoms.
Yeah.
You know, that's how it works. And people really need to understand. If you mess with people's mental health in the workplace, they will start developing physical health symptoms.
Okay, so will I be right to say those who are on the extreme, the healthy side of the spectrum, who have a healthy mental state and understand all these things, we even begin to pity the boss because
of
the
course.
boss has.
I would just look at you and be like, oh, do I know where you are coming from? I used to give an example. Look at the hair that I'm wearing. I could have AirPod here. You might not know. And you greet me and you say, good morning, Dr. T. And I didn't answer you because I wasn't looking at you. And there's something in my... And then the whole day you are messed up. Oh, she didn't answer me. How are you making such conclusions?
But it's difficult working in a toxic environment. For instance,
it is difficult. That's why I said it is neither here nor there. But you can work in that toxic environment. See, the right thing to do is not to have a toxic environment. But look at the workplace in this.
It's widespread.
It's everywhere. So the first thing you need to do is when we are talking about mental health, going to corporate organization, they'll tell you, oh, we have EAP, we have HMO. That's not what we are talking about. You need to do better because when the environment is toxic, people will start taking sick leave because they will fall sick. When you mess with their mental health, we start affecting their physical health. It's called somatic therapy.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow. That's profound.
Yes.
That's surprising.
So they will take sick leave, and then the company will bear the brunt. So what are we saying? The best option is not to have a toxic environment. But when you have a toxic environment, then take care of yourself. Deal with the way you react. Don't let people's action determine your state of health or the way you react to them.
Okay.
Choose your reaction. Understand that people cannot be like you.
All right. So given the current economic situation in the country and all that's going on, even the killings around Boko Haram, people die. We see blood every day. One day I almost I avoided a dead body on one of the roads coming to work, and I came here shaken. So I was are you not used to it? I said it's been on since I was a child in this Lagos. I can never get used to it. No, but
it is what it is.
Yeah. So I mean, these things affect, I'm sure. I used to say something like we have a national trauma in this country. Where do people react?
It's generational trauma. We are passing it from generation
to
generation.
How can Nigerians guard and optimize their mental well-being?
See, it's everything around us. See, I look at things and I feel like, how do we even act normal in this kind of situation when people are thinking like this, okay? All right, how do we act normal? Everything is trying to make you abnormal. Everything is trying to mess with your mental health. What should you do? Number one, be aware. You need to get knowledge about mental health. You need to know what to do. You need to, in fact, the first step is finding yourself. You need to be self-aware enough to know the things that are affecting you and how you should react to them. When people come to the Institute of Counseling, people come not just because they want to be counselors, because they want to go through that journey of self-awareness. Find yourself so you can choose your reaction to situations, because if you say you are going to be living in this country, you need to mess with your head.
Be self-aware
so you can choose your reaction, so you can take charge of your emotions.
All right.
Yeah.
I don't know, one of those days I was driving somewhere and one of these guys selling water, grown-up guy, advanced in age, but was selling water, just jump out of nowhere. I was driving, I was trying to get out of the road. The guy jumped to where I was. I had to swerve and avoid him. I don't know when I parked my car, walked out, and I was going to drag his shirt before my madam dragged me into the car to come back. And I said, hey, what am I doing here? The guy too dropped he dropped the water from his head.
I want to fight you.
He dropped the water out in madness with my head. And I said, hey, Kofi, what are you doing? What are you doing? Can't you imagine a public figure?
Exactly.
You want to get dirty with this guy?
Exactly. Choose your reaction.
I was looking good, well dressed.
Right.
I packed my car, jumped out. I said, hey, but what's wrong? I remembered myself.
Yeah.
We all have a moment, right?
Right. But you take charge the more when you are self-aware.
I'm the one who always says, you have to not react, but be proactive.
Sometimes you need to. But no, it's not real. Sometimes you need to act.
I don't know when I just, what am I doing?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's why people say Pastor Paul did this and that, and I say, leave. See, everybody, we're all human beings.
Of course.
Tolu, thank you very much for your time.
Yeah, thank you.
And it's been great having you on the program. We have to have you again.
Yeah, I will always be here. This is home.
There's a lot to talk about,
Yeah.
I think next time we should talk about social media and effect on yeah, and then maybe sometimes we'll talk about porn addiction. Okay,
on your show.
No, we can't. We can't.
We can talk about it in a.
We have to
addiction
go.
is addiction.
Dr. Tolulope Oko-Igaire, thank you for your time.
Thank you for having me.
I'll be back. Let's pay some bills. Stay with us.
99.3 Nigeria Info. We are more than just radio. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at Nigeria Info FM. Check us out on Facebook at Nigeria Info 99.3. Follow us on Twitter at Nigeria Info FM and on Instagram at Nigeria Info FM Lagos for live updates as it happens. 99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk.